from where I sit, this Subaru is a fantastic time.
This is the 2015 Subaru BRZ, a little sports car that in its very short life went from being one of the most overhyped cars to one of the most underrated. Let's hop behind the wheel of the Series Blue Edition and see what all the fuss is about.
I don't ever want to get out of this seat.
Now, a lot of automakers talk about a driver-focused cabin when they talk about their sporty cars, but this is one of the truly driver-focused interiors. Everything just falls nicely into the hand, from the steering wheel to the shifter. The pedals are at a nice spot for heel towing. Just a very good place to pilot this vehicle and do nothing else. There aren't even buttons on the steering wheel. Now, the BRZ separates itself from the Scion with a touchscreen infotainment system that's going to give you navigation, HD radio, a whole lot of different bells and whistles right out of the box, and they're all in this box right here. Now, one nice feature that the top-tier BRZ models get is this little red button right here that's going to indicate that we have push-button start and keyless entry. It's a really cool convenience feature. Now, Subaru BRZ gets a lot of grief from the enthusiast community for being a little underpowered, but at 200 horsepower and 151 pound-feet of torque, I think this lightweight little sports car has enough grunt to have a really good time. Powered by this 2-liter horizontally imposed 4-cylinder engine that's going to be mated up with a 6-speed automatic or a 6-speed manual, as in this case transmission. And one of the things you'll notice is that this engine is mounted very low down and very far back into the engine bay. That's going to help this car's balance, and it's going to contribute to that really good handling that we'll see in a second.
This is a rewarding drive. There's enough power for the chassis. Everything feels well balanced. Everything falls nicely in the hand. Granted, torque's not that great. You find yourself in too tall of a gear or in the wrong gear at a stoplight, and you will get straight walked on by guys in Toyota Camrys. But when the road gets twisty, they will not be having nearly as much fun. I mean, this isn't a car that's about power. It's about balance, and it's about the drive being second nature, the car sort of being almost telepathic, and I'm getting a lot of that from here. Now, it's been pointed out that there is a little bit of artificialness to this car's driving joy. I mean, it's got a great platform for handling, but a lot of that sort of like tail out happiness that you get in a turn doesn't really come from power. It comes from the fact that this car has been basically saddled with tires that are too narrow and don't offer enough grip. But while they're not outright the fastest setup, they are a lot of fun, especially when you've got the VSC Sport setting on this car and you get a little tail happy coming out of a corner. Now, this Series Blue Edition has, well, basically a lot of visual upgrades. You got a black body kit, you've got black wheels, red painted brake calipers. There aren't very many performance upgrades unless you count the extra aerodynamics of the body kit. I don't know if it's actually worth the extra money on this particular vehicle. This is the kind of car that you want to keep the cost low and keep things simple and keep them sweet.
Now, the 2015 Subaru BRZ starts at about $25,695, but this Series Blue Edition with all of the extra body kit and interior upgrades is going to start at about $29,000. Add destination fees and you're looking at just a hair over $30,000 for a 200 horsepower sports car. Now, for that sort of money, you can get a very well-equipped V6 Ford Mustang, but now we're talking about a very different kind of vehicle. That's more power, this is more finesse. I actually think the biggest competitor to this is going to be its Scion badge twin, the FRS, which gets you all of the driving thrills with less frills for less money.